On this episode of Fitness Junkeez, we meet Candace McCuthcheon, the visionary behind the Evolve Kickboxing Gym and the Fit Fam she has created in South Las Vegas.
Like, there's so many people who are afraid to get started with fitness, or maybe they just don't have a positive place in their life. So we want this to be the one place they can come in, make some friends, feel like everyone here is rooting for them, and then the goal, long-term goal, is to help them create a healthy lifestyle, not just in the gym, but like over the long term.
Then we go into Sticky Paw Studios and chop it up with one of her coaches, Jeremy, and one of her clients, Sarah.
I feel like there are so many people out there that have such greatness in them. And I feel like people don't see it in themselves.
You will definitely be inspired by this conversation, so enjoy the show. What's up, Fit Fam? This is Giovanni of Gio's Logic, your host of Fitness Junkeez. Today we have a great show, but before that, I hope this show meets you in good health and spirits. And if not, I hope it inspires you to do something about it. Today, my guest is a lovely lady with a lot of energy, and you'll soon see. Candace, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Introduce me to your crew.
So this is Sarah. She has been a longtime member. She is a fantastic person and just overall great part of our Fit Fam. And this is Jeremy. He is one of our incredible coaches, and he's been with me for several years. So he's great, and that's who's with me today.
What's up, fam?
What's going on?
Hi.
Great to see you guys again. We were over there earlier this week, and we saw what they did over there. But before we get into that over at Evolve Kickboxing, I want to hear about your fitness journey, how the ups and downs of fitness, and how you got to where you are today.
Yeah, so when I was a kid, I was really active. I really enjoyed fitness. I begged my dad for years to get me a gym membership. My family was overweight. My grandma had a lot of health problems. All of my grandparents did, and we weren't the healthiest family. For whatever reason, that kind of inspired me to get moving. He wouldn't let me get a gym membership until I turned 16. So I had saved up all my allowance as a kid. And the first fitness thing that I had purchased was the Richard Simmons Sweat Into the Oldies. And I would put that in the VHS, and I would work out in the living room as a 12-year-old, and my parents and my sister would sit on the couch and eat popcorn, and they would just laugh. They thought I was hilarious, but that was the first step towards fitness. I played soccer and did all kinds of things. I got active, and I always knew it was important because I watched my family go through all these health problems that I never wanted to experience. And then as I became 16, that was the first thing I got. I started going to 24-hour fitness, and I would do anything. Body pump. Taebo came out. I bought the Taebo videos.
Oh, yeah.
I love Billy Blanks, and that was my first introduction to kickboxing. And I did that a lot. And then I would just find anyone around me that would do anything. And that would start with, hey, do you want a coworker? Do you want to go play tennis after work? Do you know how to play tennis? No, neither do I, but it looks fun. Let's try it. And then that turned into obstacle course racing. And then the kickboxing at 24-hour, I became addicted to. And I always wanted to box. I always wanted to try that type of stuff. And my parents were not against me fighting other people. It wasn't as popular back then as it is now with like UFC and everything. And so, yeah, I kept going. And then I started kickboxing at an actual karate studio. I had a daughter, and I took her to karate. And there were some moms in the back beating on some bags. I was like, what's this? And I was like, can I try this? While she's doing karate, can I try it? And once I hit a bag, I never left.
Wow.
My background is in interior design and architecture. So I used to be a project manager at an architecture firm. And I always loved fitness, but it just never took off as my career. And we went on a cruise through the Panama Canal, and we stopped in Colombia. And it was like the most amazing experience. These people were so happy, and they had no streetlights, no shoes, no nothing. They were just incredibly happy, and they were playing outside. And I came back from the cruise, and my husband looked at me, and he's like, "We're changing our life, aren't we?" I'm like, "We are." So I stopped with the architecture, and the place that I was kickboxing at, he'd been bugging me. Come work for me. Come work for me. I'm like, "You're nuts. Like, I like this as fun."
Right.
And I quit my job, and I went there and I never left. And that's how my fitness turned. And now I do triathlons and races and all kinds of things. And it's just what I love to do.
Right. You're hooked.
I'm hooked.
Right.
I love fitness.
A true junkie. I love it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Yes. So let's hear your story.
Sure. So I was relatively active growing up. I did softball and attempted basketball, and I did ballet and all that growing up. And in my adult years, I was usually a part of a gym, and just would use the equipment. I never really understood what I was doing per se, but I was going. And there was one time a friend here in Vegas, she said, there's this new kickboxing gym. We should go try it out. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to like doing the same workout every day. I don't think I'm going to like it. And so she tried for weeks to get me to go. And then eventually she was like, "Hey, look, they have, this special going on. Let's do it." And I was like, "Okay, let's go." So I showed up to Candace's gym and it was just immediate awe. I mean, I was like, wow. Like, I always had an interest in martial arts too, actually. I never thought I could do it. Like, I was like, don't people do that since they were children and that's how they're good at it? I can't just take it up in my adult years and be good at it. But I showed up to her gym and they had me try it out. And it was the same thing. It was like, as soon as I started punching the bag, that was it. I was like, oh, this is so much fun. This is it. So I joined, and that was in February of 2019. And I have done not only, learned so much about kickboxing and fitness, but nutrition too. And that's what I love about her gym, is that it's more than just working out. It's, getting healthier, learning about yourself, and also the members, the team, the coaches are amazing. Candace is amazing. So I pretty much am in love with the place, and I found a lot of success with my fitness journey, and I still have a ways to go, but it is practically a second home.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked about that the other day. The hour that you spend in class has really very minimal effect on the other 23 hours that you're alive. That's really where you're going to make the change, if you're going to make the change.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It can't just be about the 1 hour you show up and work hard and sweat. You've got to want to evolve outside of that.
Yes. So we've got a coach, a master coach over here. What's your story?
I actually, before Candace, I didn't have like a fitness background, like to want to go to the gym. I've always been athletic. So from youth, I've played probably every sport under the sun, even lacrosse.
Wow.
But I've gravitated towards basketball, baseball. Those were my premier sports where I shine. All the way to my freshman year in college, and then it was just pretty much music for me. So I got into entertainment myself. I'm also from Los Angeles.
Oh, cool. Homie.
So yeah, I've been here 5 years now, 4 years, or going into my fifth year. So Yeah, Candace called me one day. It was 2016 or 2017. I was dead asleep. She's like, "Hey, are you still interested in doing kickboxing?" I was like, "Yeah." I was half asleep. I didn't even know what she was talking about. She was like, "Great, because we have a workout going on, and if you come down and we can talk about, some job opportunities." So I'm thinking it's a one-on-one scenario. Like I'm going for an interview. I show up, it's like 40 people in the studio. I'm like, "What's going on?" And mind you, I only had like a couple hours of sleep because I had a wild night before, but when she said that, because I remember seeing the ad for kickboxing, and I was like, that would be pretty cool. I'm thinking kids. I'm not thinking adults. I'm like, I can handle some kids. I'm like, I get there, it's all adults, it's people that's older than me, it's people to my age, and I'm just like, look at all these people, man. Like, what are we about to do? Right? So I just wasn't prepared. But what I was prepared for was just to have some fun. It didn't seem like an environment that was intimidating or anything. As far as martial arts concerned, like I always loved Blade. Like I came up, watching Blade. I can mimic everything as far as that movie is concerned, and just loving martial arts all together with other movies that follow. But to be in a position to teach and be in a position to help others, I didn't necessarily see that for myself. So I think with that being the biggest change for me, coming from entertainment and somewhat streets, to being a pillar in a community where I'm actually helping people and motivating them and showing them how to live better lifestyles. Like it was like a gravitational pull. I was like, this is it, because environmental wise, I only seen what my environment was. So fitness and being a coach and being a leader in that aspect, I didn't see until, that phone call. And since that phone call, we've been like this, honestly, like legit,
Nice.
So I thank Candace for that. And I always come back to that, with all of the success that I've had with fitness and my growth. I always bring it back to her because she started me out, and she's helped me every step of the way as far as, how to deal with people, how to talk to people, how to understand my training aspect and getting myself better at things. So yeah, it's been a journey. It's still growing, and I'm loving it. I've actually started my own clothing line as far as fitness, and it's called Suit Fit Clothing. And I'm excited. Everything. It's always something new with her every year. So we gonna see.
Nice, nice, evolving. I love it.
Yeah.
So again, we were at Evolve Kickboxing earlier this week, and before we get into more talk, let's see what the general vibe is over there.
Okay.
And the main goal that we try to do is we want people to come here and feel like they have a place that they can start fitness or continue fitness, but it's not just about the hour that they're in here. We want them to evolve outside the studio, try things that you've never tried before. Try a 5K with us, try a Spartan. If you want to go hiking, let's start a hiking club, let's do a book club. It's not just the hour that you're here.
Hey, about a members camping trip. Yes, so that's actually by Mount Charleston. It's super close. You can go for the day, you can go for the night, whatever it is that you want to do. Some people will be spending the night. If you aren't big on camping, come up Saturday. You can play dominoes, you can go for a hike, you can meet other people. Just get out into the outdoors.
So I have been kickboxing for over 10 years now. When I first started kickboxing, I worked a lot with in Taekwondo, with karate. One of the people that I really fell in love, that helped me fall in love with kickboxing, he was a 7th degree black belt. So I credit a lot of that to him. There was a lot of training, a lot of one-on-one. There was a lot of just learning. And then just like I want the members to be good at everything they do, like if you're gonna teach a craft, you should know what you're doing. Yes. So it's making sure that I'm a good example for everybody else.
That little clip has my head going a million miles an hour because there's so much there. Let's start with the aspect of what your relationship is and you making him the best at what he does. Because he wasn't a coach, but you saw something in him.
Yeah. I feel like there are so many people out there that have such greatness in them. And I feel like people don't see it in themselves. And sometimes you need someone else to yank it out of you. And I'm not saying he didn't know he was great or she didn't know she was great, but like the pride that I have for every person that walks into that door, like it's hard to even walk into a studio, whether you're an instructor or a member or a coach. Like fitness and being healthy is hard. And it's just about believing in yourself. And sometimes people can't do that. And it makes me sad. Like, just believe in yourself. We are so great as human beings. We all have potential. I don't care what you did in your past. I don't care what you did, what you ate in your past. You're here. So how are you going to make the best of today? And how are you going to change your life to make it better?
Yeah. You mentioned, and we talked about it earlier at the gym and here this morning, that it's about the hours that you're not in the gym.
Mm-hmm. It is. I feel like, especially with Jeremy, he showed up and I mean, he looked like when he got there, I wasn't 100% sure, if he was there to work out or what he was there to, but there's something about the mat that's magical, and he lit up the minute he stepped on it. I don't think he thought that was going to happen. Right. But there was just something in him that I saw, and it's about the hour that you're there, but it's also about how do we communicate with people better? How do we make somebody's life better? How do we get them to be inspired? If you can just motivate one person or change one person's life to be a better human being, the rest will fall into it. With him, he had everything there. He just needed to see it, and he needed to work on it, and he needed to just have someone there who's just cheering him on, who believed that he could do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so one of the common denominators that almost to a man or a woman that I spoke to, the love that they have for the program, for you, for the other members. Sarah, you were saying something about that. Can you say a little bit more about that love that you have for?
Oh, absolutely. That was one of the first things that I noticed when I joined the gym. It's a very unique experience to walk into a gym and to have these coaches. Hi, how are you today? Like the first thing you see when you walk in. Hi, Sarah, how are you? They say your name. You may have had a terrible day and you don't want to go work out, but you go and they're happy to see you, these coaches. I mean, Candace has been building this amazing team, A+ team. And they're always there for advice. If you have a question about anything, maybe even not fitness related or any, it just, you need an ear to talk about something. And then on the mat, they're excited, motivating. You may not want to do that extra push-up, but they're going to be like, hey, what are you doing there? Come on, we can do this, and that makes me do a few extra more that I would have never done on my own. And so that's been one of the most amazing things I think about this gym too, is the team.
Yeah. A lot of love. That's really magnetic, I think the word is. I also noticed that you were talking to people that weren't there.
Yes.
What's that? That seemed really cool.
So when COVID hit, the gym shut down, and I didn't know what to do. I felt like I had 300, 200 people that this place was their therapy, and it couldn't go away in a time that people needed help. So we took everything virtual, and we were doing things like coffee virtually just to check in on people. I was doing classes in my backyard virtually, letting them follow me along. We didn't have equipment, but we just kept moving. We were doing 5Ks virtually. Yeah. We were doing everything we could. And there are still a lot of people who don't feel comfortable being out and about. And I get it. My whole thing is, it doesn't matter how I feel. It doesn't matter how he feels. It doesn't matter how she feels. Like, it matters how you feel. So how can I make everyone as comfortable as possible? So we set up a TV, even though everyone's back in person. There are moms who've had babies over COVID who can't come back because they're busy working. There are people who don't feel comfortable. There are people who are now working doubles because the staffing situation in the world is crazy. So by giving them the opportunity to tune into the studio live, they can now work out in their living room. Like, it takes 20 minutes out of their commute. And I tell them, I don't care if you show up in your pajamas.
Right.
You show up, and that's something to be celebrated. So we have a TV in the studio, and people pop in if they can't make it down there, or if they don't feel comfortable, or if they're a mom who needs 30 minutes to hit something and they can do it in their closet. We're happy to have anyone.
Now, those bags that you have are really cool. They're super heavy and almost locked to the ground with that weight on the bottom.
Yes.
Do the people that are on satellite or Zoom, or do they have them at home?
Some do, some don't. We cater it to both. So if you don't have the ability to have a bag, that's okay. We're still going to get an insane workout. We actually had some incredible transformations while we were shut down over COVID, where nobody had equipment. I didn't even have equipment. It was all at the studio. And so we would find ways to make it work. I tell them, grab a soup can. You don't have to spend hundreds of dollars on fitness. Just get moving, right? Grab a soup can. We even made little bags for people, and we put them outside so that they could come and pick them up. And we stuffed bags. My mom was at home sewing all these little hand weights, 3-pound hand weights. So if they were at home and they didn't have a bag, they could buy these little bean bags that we made. And we were doing that. And so yeah, the people at home, they don't have to have a bag. We do sell a bag if they want it. But the whole goal is to just get people moving so they can have and start a healthy lifestyle. Just takes one bit of action. That's it. So if you don't have a bag, just show up and we got the rest.
The other thing, and more from that video, and I wanted to talk about, is the crazy cleaning you do between classes. That was like, whoa, they brought out these machines and like, what's that?
So again, keeping everyone comfortable. My goal, our team's goal is, the members are our family. So if they don't feel comfortable, that's all that matters. We will do whatever we need to do to make them comfortable. So with everybody coming back, they've got to feel comfortable. We sanitize. So pre-COVID, we had 15 minutes in between each class. After COVID, now we shut the studio down for an hour in between each class. We shuffle everyone out in a very polite way. Sometimes you guys like to linger a little and socialize. But we lock the doors and we turn the studio over after every class. We have a fogger, so we fog everything. We sanitize the lockers after every use. We clean the bathrooms. I mean, that studio, we joke about it, but like if we dropped a piece of food on the floor, I could honestly say we could pick it up and eat it. Like, it can't get any cleaner. And the team has been great. One of my personal things is, my parents always had us we had to be clean. And so sometimes I drive the team nuts. Cause I tell them like, it's not, no, like they'll be like white glove tests. I'm like, these people deserve to have a clean place. So we clean like crazy, and they've done great with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really go above and beyond to make people comfortable.
Yeah. The one thing you said to me the other day was that your members run the studio, not you.
1000%. Wouldn't you agree about
I
that?
definitely do agree. Definitely. If I'm not on track to teach that particular hour, you get a couple of requests, and then all of a sudden I'm teaching, and that'll come straight from who's over my head. So they'll be like, yep, they said they need you on the mat, so I'm on the mat. So, I mean, yeah, they definitely, we are all about the members, because if they're not comfortable, if they're not happy, then we're not doing our job. You know, they won't even show up for that part for us to get to the fitness part, you know, as far as comfortability is concerned. So that's most important always. So
They'll joke around too. I mean, they'll walk in and they'll say, "How's our studio doing today?"
Right.
Or, "Hey," they call me boss sometimes. I'm like, I hate that term. I really do, but
I
do
remember
it
when that started.
They
Boss
do it
lady.
in a loving way. The members will come in and be like, "Hey, boss lady, what we need today? What do we need to do? Do we need more members? Do we need this? What do we need?"
Yeah.
So a lot of what we do dictates what they want. If the goal is to get them a healthy lifestyle, and it's not just about the hour that they're there, and the goal is to get them results, right? They need to see results. They're there for a healthy lifestyle. So we have to provide results. If they say they want to go hiking, we're going to make it happen. If they want a 5K, we're going to make it happen. If they want a themed night,
Right.
we're going to make it happen. Like, as long as they feel comfortable there, I mean, they make it so easy. It's so great to watch them transform and grow, and everything we do is for them. They are incredible, and they're our motivation.
Right.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell people, my clients, that the soon as you can get in a position where you're helping people, the better off you will be with your health and wellness.
Like that.
That giving, it's actually in the 12-step program, it's the 12th step. Giving back to others and helping others is really so fulfilling. It helps you keep on point with your own health and wellness. So, you know, I know you two feel it every day, and it's a really cool driving force. Now, the other thing I like that you do over there is you create this community. One of the ladies that we're about to see, she mentioned it, and well, let's watch that video first. We're here at Evolve. This is your spot to get your workout on. Tell me why.
I became a member because I always wanted to box, and joined the gym when it first opened. And I've been here since the beginning. So I've stayed because it's been a place that I've been very consistent with, which hasn't happened previously in my fitness journey. It's great because we get to come in and leave our aggression on the bags and just have fun. And there's a lot of camaraderie within the family as well.
Cool. And have you had any other success stories other than being consistent? Like, did you lose a pant size or dress size or whatever size?
Absolutely. So, I definitely tremendously lowered my body fat since I've been here. Probably down overall about 40 pounds since I first joined the gym 3 years ago.
Nice.
And so there's been a lot of success stories with that, but also with just, I think, the family that we build here. It's a great fit fam, and so there's lots of friendships formed on and off the mat, which gives us a great amount of accountability within the membership here as well.
Right. Do you ever have any worry like you're gonna break a nail or a wrist or anything like that?
I don't. They're padded up really well, and we have our wraps on and our gloves are protected. Once in a while, I will hit a hoop into my face because I always box with hoops on. I can't do it without it for some reason.
What were you
feel
saying
like
your nickname was?
Hoops and hooks is what it's recently been changed
Hoops
to.
and
So
hooks.
yeah, it's my
I
favorite.
love it. I love
My favorite move.
What about Candace? How has she influenced you?
I think she's such a great leader for us. I think she's so involved in the gym, which is very different from other. I've been in Pilates, I've been in just aerobic types of studios, and it's definitely a different approach from her. She's so involved and so hands-on, and I think the great thing is she's never satisfied with the status quo. So even when things are good and everybody's happy, she's always looking to kind of level it up and keep things changing for all of the members, to keep us invested in our workouts. She's great with us. It's not just about the physical components with her. She's also very focused, her and the team and Maggie and all of the coaches, on our mental well-being as well. I think it's so hard to explain it, but it's such an experience to be part of this. We call it the Fit Fam, the best Fit Fam in Vegas, and it's an experience, so it's hard to explain it to somebody until they come in and are actually able to have that experience for themselves. I think in every class you see people at every stage of their fitness journey, so you're never uncomfortable if you're coming in just kind of starting your fitness journey. If you've been out of it for a while, sometimes you're hesitant to go back to a gym or something because you just don't feel comfortable. And it's great. Every single class you see newbies on the mat, you see people that have been here for 3 years, and the coaches do a great job of just making sure everybody is comfortable, and they work with you. Whatever your goals are, they really work to help you achieve those.
The best Fit Fam in Las Vegas.
Wow.
I love
yeah.
it. I love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, culture and community is, again, the word that comes to me is magnetic. You've got something really special over there. I, being kind of a person that wants to do what you do, help people, I do. But I want to help more people because, as we know, a lot of people are hurting. And I don't mean injured, but emotionally hurting because of potentially their weight or their health. And we talked the other day about you duplicating this, opening another location.
No,
And-
don't get that look. I see Jeremy's eyes like,
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be that way.
Right.
This is a way I reach more people as well. So there's other ways to do it. You do it with the Zoom workouts and things that people can't come. Do you have any other ideas, thoughts? And I know we talked about diluting the special sauce that you have in the location, but it's also kind of not fair to not share what you got going on there with more people.
I feel like it's so, I'm torn because I have a lot of people in my ear about you should expand. I have a lot of people who've asked, like, have you thought about letting someone else open up a studio like this? Have you thought about franchising it? Have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? But I enjoy people, and I enjoy people who want to be better. That's what my team is. And yes, it might feel like the community is great, and it is great. I didn't create that. My team created that. We created that. The members created that. It took all of us to create that. I can't take credit. I might have maybe inspired them some way along the way, but that's what it's about. You inspire one person, and hopefully that person will inspire people along the way. I feel like for me, it's not just about the members. My team is everything to me. They mean everything to me, and I don't mean as workers. My goal is to provide a workplace that can change their life outside of work. So if I can help him become a better person overall and a better human, and I can push him to achieve his goals outside the studio and change his life towards something he wants to do, I feel like I can devote not all of my time, because I'm obviously busy, but I feel like my passion is with my team And when I split that, now they don't get all of me. And they already need more of me. Like, I feel guilty that I don't get to spend as much time as I would like to with them. And then you add the members into that, and it's really hard. I understand I could help people on a bigger level, but I'm not done helping the people that need me right now that are in front of me. So it's hard. I mean, what do you think?
Well, there's kind of that balance. You have a lot of people. You said 200, 300 members?
Yeah, we were floating in that area.
So that's a lot of energy, people wanting your energy. And one of the things that I feel is limiting about being a coach is time. So how do you reach all those people and give them enough of you and not be completely not having time for your life, for your health and wellness? So I believe you need to find a way to reach more people that doesn't take up all your time and energy. So that's why, podcast is a kind of a way I like to do it. But I definitely understand, you talk about team, and she even, random interview grabbed her literally when she's walking in the studio, and she used the word leader. And that word is very unique because there's a lot of people that are in a leadership position but aren't good leaders. You said that you really care about your team. A good leader is not the person in charge, but they're taking care of the people in their charge. So you are a living embodiment of a good leader, and that's powerful. So, your goal doesn't have to be my goal to reach more people. Your goal can be just to maximize the people in front of you. You don't have to have a dream to reach more people. It's okay.
I think maybe in the future, I wouldn't be opposed to reaching more people, but I feel like I already have so many people who could, like you said, right? There are a lot of people in dark places right now. And if I can just help all of us get to a better mental place with everything that's gone on in the world right now, then maybe I would feel comfortable moving to bigger. But for now, there's still quite a bit of people who could really use some love. So,
and that's why we love her. I mean, we really rally around Candace, all the members. I mean, she's being very humble, and we love that about her. But, through the shutdowns, she was there for us, last year. And, she's always telling us how much she cares about us and she wants us to be better and what can I do? And she really is, the members we're committed to you. And we really appreciate what she does. I think you could expand, but I'm a little selfish. I don't really want to share you.
Yeah, I can see that happening with the members.
Yeah. So let's go to a place where you might get a little uncomfortable in your chairs. And let's talk about some of the pain that you might have been experiencing before you found Candace and Evolve. Sarah, let's start with you. Did you have a moment in your life where you were like, I need something, I'm feeling terrible about my body or whatever?
Oh, yeah. So before the gym, Candace's gym, I was a part of just a general gym, and I was working out, multiple times a week, and just nothing was happening. And that's very frustrating. And, you have people telling you, oh, well, maybe you should run more, do more cardio, or, you're getting all this advice that doesn't really make sense to you, and it didn't make sense to me. And I was definitely uncomfortable with my body. I actually also did salsa dancing. And if you've seen salsa performers, we wear really skimpy outfits on stage. And I love dancing, but I was starting to get uncomfortable with how my body looked, and the clothes got smaller as time went on too. So I think, you know, I did take a break from salsa dancing. I think that was a small part of it. I think there was other things, but that was part of it. I was starting to become a little self-conscious. And I really didn't see how I was ever going to fit my ideal body, my fitness level. I couldn't see how I was ever going to get there. I didn't understand nutrition. I mean, you know what's healthy, right? They say, oh yeah, eat a salad, right? Or eat broccoli and chicken, or you get the general idea. You see it all the time, all the health meals, and this is how you get this healthier, but it doesn't really come together. You know, you're just throwing all this information, and you can't, to bring it into your lifestyle. You need help with that, you know. And when I joined the gym and I did my first challenge, which was the 28-day belly blast, I believe, that was my first step towards trying to understand nutrition. And I won that challenge right away.
Nice.
I did.
She did great.
I won it. I think at that time I lost 15 pounds and 5% body fat. And I won a 6-week challenge. So that was my next step, was the 6-week challenge. And I think I'm on my 4th or 5th challenge now. And every time I do it, it's a learning experience about nutrition. And I get a little bit more comfortable each time with my body. Nice. You know, and I think, and I look back to how I thought before, and it's very sad, you know, that you just don't understand, you know, that person that I was then just didn't understand. And the answer is out there. You just have to go find it. You have to go find that place that makes you want to go work out. You know, the regular old gym was not inspiring me. I went to kickboxing and I was inspired. Nice. And if you want to know about nutrition, go search and find someone that can help you with that. I was lucky enough. I got, you know, a 2-for-1 deal here. Right. You know, like, she does both. So I'm working out and she's offering, hey, by the way, nutrition, and you want to get better, you want to get healthier, you want to get your ideal, body weight and all that, I can help you with that. And so I got even more invested. So I'm definitely, I see my goal is attainable now. Before I couldn't see it. I was like, I don't know how I'm ever going to be where I want to be. And now I know I can get there. It's very close.
Nice.
There we go.
Nice. So a couple of things I'm going to pull out of there.
Yes.
I'll first say that pain is a great motivator, but you always got to remember that when you start feeling good, better, the thoughts of the pain tend to disappear and you can slip back into bad habits. We were talking about that earlier. So it's great in that you should keep doing more challenges forever.
I rock those challenges, man.
She does so great.
It's I tell everybody, it's like if you don't have something to focus your energy towards, it's like, well, I don't have to say no to that cake, or, well, I don't have to do that class today. It's really about putting those new goals. Get a goal, hit another one, set them another one. So those challenges are great. Mm-hmm. How are those? I guess it's a part of your program.
So a lot of times that's how our members start, and they don't have to start that way, but I love it when they do, because I get so frustrated with the fitness world sometimes, because I feel like there are so many males and females, especially out there, that are given this ideal life that they're supposed to be. They're supposed to look a certain way. She's supposed to look a certain way in her salsa dress, right? Everyone's supposed to be this certain size. And it's changing now, and that's better. But where are we teaching anybody about this? My son is 6, and it's like, he doesn't learn this in school. So what happens is she might be eating salads She might be doing the best she can, eating chicken and broccoli. And the frustration starts. Like, why am I not losing weight? Why am I not getting where I need to be? And then what happens is people relate that to diets and eating healthy. Well, I'm eating healthy and I'm going on this diet, but nothing's happening. But they don't understand that they just don't have the right pieces in the right place. And then they feel very self-conscious about themselves and they feel awful and they think they're doing something wrong. And they're not. They just don't understand all of the components. And it breaks my heart. Like, I don't understand why I'm working out 5 days a week and I'm burning 600 calories and I'm eating watermelon, 2 watermelons a day and eating nothing but salads. And they just need help. And people get so upset at themselves and they think they are the problem. But where did they learn it? Who really taught them that? And it gives people a bad taste for exercising, for nutrition. So we have the option to start on a challenge where we teach balanced foods, not trends, but balance, so that they can learn how to build a plate. What is a protein? What is a healthy carb? What is a healthy fat? How do we pair it together for long-term success? And how do we make sure that we're not just eating chicken and broccoli for the rest of our lives, right? Balance. It's about balance. And so when our members start that way, oh, I love it, because then they're adding the nutrition, they're adding the kickboxing, the results are happening, and they feel like the stars are aligning,
Right.
and they feel great. And I would, like, people like Sarah, when they walk in, I'm like, oh, I can help you.
Right.
Let me help you. That's what I get excited about, right?
How do you, like, nutrition is a big thing. It could probably be more energy into that than a class. Is there a program
There's
specifically for nutrition?
So
Okay.
we do separate, and then the kickboxing goes with it.
Got it.
So we'll teach them how to eat. And then there's different types of challenges. I mean, Sarah's on her, what number are you on?
I think I'm on my 4th or 5th challenge.
Fourth one. And this one is a little bit more advanced. So we went from learning what are the healthy components to a plate to now let's try and track, what do you need for your body? What are your goals? What do you need? A little bit more protein? Do you need, like, what are the healthy percentages? So we track those types of things now. So there's different levels where they can become advanced in their nutrition. I love talking about nutrition, and it all stems from, at one point I was 200 pounds.
No way.
I'm 5 foot. So I look like have you ever seen Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Yeah.
You know how she eats the gum and they roll her out?
Yeah.
That was me. Like, I'm 5 foot. I'm so small. And I was one of those people who was going to the gym 5 days a week, body pump, Taibo, kickboxing. I would do anything. Boot camp, fine. Tennis, fine. I just can't, and it wouldn't move. And finally, my doctor wanted to prescribe me some medication to help me lose weight. And I was like, I don't want that. I'm not going to take that forever, right? What happens? I asked, what happens when I'm done taking it? Well, it could go back. Okay, well, I'm way too young to be on medication to help me lose. There's got to be a better way.
Right.
So I enrolled myself in some nutrition classes. And over the course of a year, I dedicated all my time to eating healthy and a little bit of working out. And I lost 70 pounds just through food.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
And
Nice.
I was one of those people where I was like, I told the doctor, listen, there's something wrong. It's my thyroid. Something's wrong. Something is wrong.
Right.
He's like, well, what are you eating? I'm like, I eat salad every day. I eat salad. And then when I started tracking my nutrition, I'm like, okay, a salad from Wendy's is worse than a Big Mac from McDonald's. Like, I was trying my hardest. And if you added all the foods together, yes, they were healthy, but they were the wrong pairing and they were the wrong type of healthy. And just because something is labeled as a salad, I tell my people all the time, stop eating salads. If you hate salad, stop eating salad. Don't force yourself to eat salad unless you're going to make it yourself. So I love talking about food.
Yeah,
I mean, talk about it all day.
Me too. Me too. So, pain. Was there any pain in your life that drove you to fitness?
Yeah, most definitely. I think pain is the biggest motivator for me. Before pre-Candace, I think the biggest thing I lacked was probably structure. And that's when things started coming together when I got a part of the gym and I was under her wing. Is I was able to structure my life more. So I guess going from survival mode to being in control, and having a sense of purpose when you're just kind of waking up and you're just doing what you need to do for the day versus this is what I'm going to do because I have an intended goal that I need to hit, And it doesn't have to be glamorous, the goal. It's just something personal, something that you need to check off so that you may need to feel better about yourself or you need to be able to progress yourself. So that whole go with the flow and survival instinct kind of dwindled out as I started seeing that if I channel my energy to certain areas of my life, that I would get more out of it. And that's what I was seeing when I was going to kickboxing with her. And not just kickboxing, it was just the learning aspect of how she would teach, things repetitive. I would do some at least 100 times before she's like, all right, you got it. I would feel like I nailed it. She was like, nah, let's do it again. You know what I mean? It can go from, from rehearsing a script or even just doing training as far as throwing a punch. It may feel good, look good to me. She'll be like, that's not it. One more time. So that might break certain people. It's like where you feel like you're giving your all and then somebody like, nah, that's not it. For me, it was like, okay, let me sharpen that, and I took that every time. And I think that's kind of, I would say she likes to coach me because I do rise to the challenge in that aspect, as far as saying, well, you can do this a little better. But I was doing it. But what do you mean better? That's not it. Without that reaction and versus saying, okay, I hear you. Let me go ahead and try that. Oh, this hurts. This really, it hurts. But let me do it again. I read that. I felt like that was it. But you know what? I can't see. I only have my two eyes. I can't see myself in action. Somebody else can. And that's what we need as people, I think, to hold each other accountable. You can't always think that you're doing everything right if you haven't had nobody come along and be like, hey, you're doing that right. Somebody may come along, you've been doing that wrong. Like, nah, I've been doing this right the whole time. And that's with anything. It doesn't have to be just coaching. It just be your lifestyle. And that's what we do when we get our new members. They come in, they have these lifestyles. And we're like, I've been doing this and I've been doing this. And then we have to ask that question, well, how has that been working out for you? Because now you're sitting in front of me, right? So things haven't been panning out because here you are looking for more answers or better solutions, right? So me knowing that and just having that self-motivating factor, which a lot of people don't have, which I understand now, that it's hard to motivate yourself. You know what I mean? It's hard to want to get up and do things that you don't want to do. You know that it's going to work out for you. You know it's going to be better for you. This couch feel good, man. What I'm doing that for? This bed feel good. I'm doing that for it. Right. So it's just that pain for me it's recurring motivation. If I ever feel like I'm too on top of my game, I can reach back to that pain and pull that pain and use that as motivation at any given moment. I might be on a bag and she might be pushing me and I'm like, I got to reach back to that pain because I'm thinking I'm working my ass off, but I can work harder. Somebody says I can, they're seeing that I can. So anytime somebody sees greatness in you, you got to honor that, or at least you should. You know what I mean? Pay attention to that because that means somebody believes in you. That's one more person. So if you're already doing it and somebody else does it, you're capable of amazing things.
So I want to pick on you a little bit more here.
Okay.
Because everyone has a story, but it's really not that unique. I was overweight as a kid. I think all of us on this side, you seem like a smaller build, thin, if you will.
Yeah.
And when you said that you were in a lifestyle, a go with the flow kind of thing, and you got more structure out of fitness, was there pain in that lifestyle that you were living? I didn't necessarily get that.
Well, when you don't have structure and you're just going with the flow, you're just pretty much clinging on to anything that's going to be what you deem good for you at that moment, right? So for me, without structure and having a family, that's not good leadership. As men and having a family, you should be the leader of your household, right? So if I'm going with the flow, my son's seeing that, my daughter's seeing that, my wife is like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Without any structure of me waking up, like, this is what we need to do. You know what I mean? This is our task at hand. Or even putting it on their mind, what's your task at hand? So the pain comes from repetitively doing the same thing, you know what I mean, and not getting anywhere. So if I'm going with the flow, I'm not necessarily going forward, I'm just moving. You know what I mean? Without no sense of direction. So it hurts to have to relearn lessons that you've already been through. It hurts to have to go through challenges that you didn't pick up any of the lessons from that you were supposed to, you know, because you didn't have that mindset. So that's where the main thing as far as pain comes for me is wasted time. You know, you're wasting your time. Now I wake up, all my time's blocked out for what I want to do. Now I wake up, I have intentions. People don't wake up with intentions. You got to have intentions about your day, about your life. You know what I mean? And that's what that provided. So, yeah, it was very much so seeing how my life was just here, there. You know, yeah, it was cool, but what was I gaining? I wasn't gaining anything out of it at the end of the day. I wasn't helping anybody. And now that I am helping people, and because I've been able to help myself, that's been the biggest thing as far as a coach for me, being able to inspire people. And also continuing to hear that the highest human act is to inspire. So if I want to attach myself to that, then, you know, there's certain things I got to carry out, you know, to be able to achieve those things. So, yeah, there was a lot of pain in just freelancing life, like no direction. Yeah, I'm thin. I had a fast metabolism, but I was eating crap. That doesn't mean that I
Insides.
you know, exactly. So I may look fine on the outside, and the inside, I'm in the bathroom all day long. You know? As soon as I eat something bad, it runs right through me, but it's because it's bad. Right. And then my energy going out as far as my fitness was just, there was none. You know, I'm just living off a fast metabolism. So, I mean, it's being an example. You know, it was not being able to be an example at that point in time in my life, and realizing that I had to be an example because I do have little ones looking at me. You know, so.
Yeah, I teach that you have to create what I call a practice, and it can incorporate the actual training part, obviously nutrition. You have to have some way to keep all this pain or past pain on the front of your mind, whether it's a gratitude book or a morning prayer or meditation, because the pull to the old default behaviors is so strong. I really want people to understand that you look at people that might look skinny and they might not seem like they have any problems or pain in their life. Don't be a hater. There's people that look like beautiful that are probably the most in pain, and it's really not cool to hate on them and to not respect their journey, and to understand that even though they might look like they're perfect and there's no trouble in the world and their Instagram looks great and they're living the life, chances are there's some pain there.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like everyone has their own issues, and it's real to that person, right? So it might seem like one person's issues are bigger than somebody else's, but to that person, their issues are there and they're real. And one of the things that I love, I mean, I've been in a lot of gyms. I've ran multiple gyms at one time. I've worked for other companies where I was in charge of a community of people there. This is the first community that I can honestly say there is no judgment on that mat. And it's one of the craziest things I've ever seen. I don't know how we got so lucky, but yeah, anyone, you could be very beginner, you could be having a bad day, you could have a storm of crap at your feet. And we don't judge. That's fact awesome. That you showed up and walked in, you're one of us, that's your win for the day. You're here, let's take it at that moment. And we handle what's in front of us moving forward. And, you know, Jeremy has had an incredible transformation as a person. I mean, he was already great. I wouldn't have picked him if he wasn't.
Right.
But, I mean, over the course of the years that we've been together, I mean, it's not just him evolving as a coach, right? It's little things. Like, I remember his first class. He looked like I thought he was going to throw up. And I could just see it on his face, like, what am I doing here? And then it wasn't even 3 years ago when he would walk in and he'd be happy to be there. He'd walk in, but he'd have a bag of Jack in the Box. I'm like, what are you doing? And I'm like, Jeremy, you have to, like, you're a coach. Like, let's, and right. That was something that he's over the course of years, he's Now I see him posting and I smile. I'm like, he's doing it. He's got it. He posted a great meal. He's eating new healthy. I remember when you picked up that French fry and I'm like, what is that? You're like, it's my veggie. I'm like, that is not a veggie. And I would just laugh at him and be like, I can't with you. And now he walks in and he's got his bowl and he's, eats really good. And like, these are the things that it's not, and I wish the members could see that, right? Like, it's not just them transforming. They inspire us to be better.
Yes.
Right? Like,
yes.
I told him I don't want to eat Brussels sprouts either, right?
No.
But it's good.
Nobody wants that.
And our actions can inspire others. So I'm just going to keep eating as healthy as I can, and one day maybe they will. And the day he started eating health, I'm like, what are you doing? And I want to hug you. And I told him the other day, like, I'm so proud of you. Like, from where you started, he's had his own fitness transformation, and he has busted his butt to transform his own body. Like, our artwork's coming in and he's on one of our posters. I mean, he has an incredible transformation himself. So it's been really cool to see him be inspired by everyone else around us. That's not me. That's every person every member that's walked in and said, hey, we love you. Hey, we love your class. Hey, thank you for, he does a Mamba Motivation Monday where he goes live and he'll give them like a good thought process for the day. And it's like, those are the little things where the members aren't in the studio, but he's helped change lives just by the things he says. And to watch him post about healthy food and to watch him, bang out. So we have this thing in our studio called Honor Roll that we celebrate with members. And it was just something small that I started to give people a win. And it turned into this huge thing. But it's, they come to 12 classes in a month and they make Honor Roll, right? Like, we celebrate 12 classes. That's it. 12 classes in a month.
Honor roll
or
roll. On a roll?
No, honor. Whoa, I like that. So I don't know if you noticed, but in the studio along the main wall were a bunch of black chalkboards with a ton of signatures.
Yeah.
When they hit honor roll, they sign the board. That's 12 months worth of boards. I'm getting ready to change the boards out next week because we're out of space. And
we also get a picture.
We get a picture.
With the little,
a placard.
But I remember telling the team, like, if you're going to ask people to do these things, you should do them too. And like, he's on his way to hit honor roll this month and the members are calling him out. They made me FaceTime him the other day. They were like, can you please FaceTime him? Like, he was supposed to be here at the 3:30 class. They made me FaceTime him. And like, it's cool to watch. And this is what I mean by the community. I didn't create it. We created it. Yeah. Every person that walks into that door creates it, and we held each other accountable, and because we walk in and the rule is do not come into that studio with a crappy negative attitude. There's no place here for people like that. So we walk in, we're positive, we don't judge, we celebrate every little thing.
Yeah, it's all about support. We see new people, they get introduced in the class, so we all know who they are. And come up and say hi. During the workout, we're pushing each other. Hey, let's go, harder. What are you doing? And that gets you moving too. And celebrating, and she was talking about celebrating our achievements, the honor roll, the 100, what is it? Honor roll, 50, 100 class.
And the milestones.
All the milestones. And surprisingly, as an adult, I like that trophy. I just do.
No, a lot of them do. A lot of them be like,
there's something about it being like, I get to sign the wall, huh? You sign it.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
And that helps. It gives you something to look forward to, and people will announce it. We'll be in the group and be like, hey, guess what? This Thursday is my 200th class. Everybody wear purple, or, and we'll all come in wearing purple.
Nice.
For his or her 200th, and we'll get a picture together and we all cheer each other on, and that helps.
Yeah.
Let's see what another one of your members, the drink that she's drinking.
back in 2018.
Okay.
And when I started kickboxing here, I had no idea. No clue about kickboxing. I was about 100, close to 160 pounds.
Okay.
And then I joined a lot of challenges. I got consistent with my workout, and then they helped me with nutrition.
Oh, wow. What do you weigh now?
I'm at 140.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome.
Thank you.
And what else did it do for you? Did it give you confidence or anything else?
I would say it's a change in lifestyle. Because back then, I don't work out. I don't eat anything healthy. You know, just whatever the family can have ready. But now, I'm more conscious with what I serve to my family.
Okay.
And I make it, it's like a non-negotiable schedule. Like I have to be here 5 times a week. Just to,
5 times a week?
Yeah.
Wow.
To get that goal. And,
That's
you
a
know,
true fitness junkie, folks.
maintain and
We found out what someone else's punch was. What's your punch? Or kick here?
My favorite one?
Yeah.
Well, I like the combo of jab, cross,
Jab,
and then
cross.
spinning back fist and the right roundhouse kick.
Whoa!
I actually like that. Really.
I'm staying away from her. Sounds like a badass. Anything else that you would tell other people that are maybe living a bad lifestyle and what this does for you here?
I just want to invite everybody to come and try kickboxing because this is a lifesaver. It'll save your sanity. It's a good stress reliever. And I think it's very important to invest in your health.
3, 2, 1, let's go!
Another one, drinking the Gatorade. Love it. Love it.
That evolved tea.
Right. So the last subject, we're running a little long here, but the last thing I want to talk about is lifestyle. It's kind of my joint because that's really, I think, what it's all about. We've talked about it. We're very on the same page there. And what I loved about her is that she was saying that it's now become non-negotiable with her family. And that's the next level of creating a lifestyle that will give you what you want as far as longevity, watching your children grow, being there and being active and thriving late into life. You negotiating that now in your 30s or however old she was so that you can have those lives. So you teach that as well, I take it?
Yeah, I try to, especially with the nutrition. I feel like it all starts with them, one person. But then from there, the seeds are planted. How are you going to impact your family? How are you going to make sure that your younger generation isn't in the boat that you're in now when you're here? How can we teach them? How can we inspire them? You can't drag your kids to do something that they don't want to do. They're going to fight you tooth and nail. And I talked the same thing about their spouses. Don't drag your husband here if he doesn't want to be here. All you can do is be the healthiest version of yourself and give it time. That's going to inspire that other person in your life to eventually get on board. And it's happened. Like, we did a 5K, and to see some of these parents bring their kids and their kids want to participate. Or, like Mel is who we just watched. When she first started, I mean, there was nothing in her lifestyle that was healthy. She was like very, very beginner. And I think someone drug her. I don't think drug her to the studio to try it. I don't
Not drugged her.
No, not drug. Like physically
Maybe
brought
a little
her to the
drugs,
studio.
too.
Oh, great. That's how we build our community. No, I'm just kidding. But she's a perfect example. She's a mom who has a crazy lifestyle, and she's trying to balance her kids and staying at home and getting them through school. And it's just seeds. When she first started, she wasn't addicted to kickboxing. She wasn't coming 5 days a week. I remember the first time I did a 5K, because I had all these aspirations with the studio. I'm like, I'm going to open this. We're going to be a Golden Knight studio, and we're going to run 5Ks, and we're going to do all these things. And my first time I signed up for a 5K outside of the studio, I invited everyone. I'm like, yeah, I can't wait. And 3 people showed up. I'm like, Okay. And the first time we did Golden Nights, they were like, who's that? I'm like, oh, my dreams are fading. So I kept at it. And then the next 5K, 4 more people showed up. And then the next 5K, 3 more people. Mel took her about a year. And then she's like, I think I'll try a 5K. And I don't think it was any other reason other than I just kept doing them. And I'm not saying that that was me, right? I'm not giving myself credit, but I just kept being an example. Be the example, be the example. And she ended up doing a 5K. She ran her first half marathon a year ago with us.
Wow.
She did her first Spartan and her first Tough Mudder, and she's getting ready to do a Spartan 21K with us in 2 months. And we have on the calendar now, these are things she's coming to me about, and now she wants to do a full marathon. So in 2023, Evolve will be doing its first marathon. So it's about getting, again, I know I keep saying it, but inspiring one person and letting it ripple.
It's like planting the seed.
Yeah.
I would have never ran before the
Team
gym,
run.
but when things would come up, people like, hey, you should come do this 5K, and I'm like, no, I'm good, I don't run. And they're like, oh, then the members will be like, you do kickboxing, that's way harder than running a 5K. They'll just say something like that, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, cool. And then, but then that kind of plants the seed where you start thinking about it, and you're like, you know what? I do work really hard during that hour. Maybe doing a 5K wouldn't be a big deal. And then when the next one comes up, you kind of go, are we doing it like all together? And they're like, yeah, we'll help you. We'll help you. Okay, yeah, I'll sign up for it. And that just gets the ball rolling. That really we inspire each other to start doing all that. We see other people doing it. We see how they feel like they, all the pictures, and look, I achieved this. Look at us. And you're like, oh, I guess I could do that too.
It's crazy. So I have always ran these things outside because I do a lot of triathlons. That's my favorite thing to do. And so then they started asking about these 5Ks, and they're like, Evolve should have a 5K. And I'm like, I remember talking to the team, and I'm like, we're not in the race business. We're in the gym business, and we teach kick. And I'm like, but they want it. So we did our first virtual over COVID, and the only goal for that was to get people to move because everyone was depressed. I don't care if you walk it. So we did that, and then we came back to the studio, and they asked, can we do another 5K? There's a lot of new members who we would like the opportunity to do it. We did that 2 weeks ago. We had 71 members sign up for their 5K. Wow. We ran it as a gym, and 50 of them had never ran a day in their life. We trained them, and I gave them 2 months to prepare, but it's like you said, right? I mean, that's a perfect example of it's not the hour that you're there.
Right.
And then there were a lot of videos that I did about mindset. So you're not a runner. Well, first of all, you just ran a mile, so stop saying you're not a runner. You are a runner.
Right.
You can do it, right? So there's a lot of mindset. What do you mean you don't eat healthy? Is it that you're bad at eating healthy, or you just haven't had enough practice? You just need to learn a little bit more. Right. And it's just been
snowballing.
Insane. They're like, can you do an obstacle course? Can you do an obstacle course? I'm like, no.
I did that 5K last year, and then we did Spartan right after that. And that's the only reason I signed up for Spartan, is because I did that 5K, and I was like, oh, okay. It was my first one, so I wasn't exactly fast the entire time, but I did it. And then everybody was like, we're going to do the Spartan Sprint. And so I never would have seen myself doing this ever in a million years, but I signed up for it, got through it because of my team. It was amazing. We all wore the same color shirts. We ran it together. We pulled each other over obstacles. We let people step on each other to throw each other over. It was amazing. And it was challenging for sure, but it still made me realize that I can do these obstacle courses, these races, and that's why I'm signed up for more later this year, because I'm doing it with the members of the gym.
Yeah. Special. Wow. I could talk about fitness all day. It's kind of my thing. And we're kind of out of time, but I want to get, how do people find your clothing line? Where?
SueFitClothing.com. Sue, SUEFIT clothing.com. Sue meaning show up every day.
Nice. And tell people how to get involved with Evolve.
Yeah. I mean, you can always come down to the studio. We're on Rainbow and Warm Springs in the Smith Shopping Center. You can find us on Facebook, Evolve Fitness and Kickbox. You can find us on Instagram, or you can always go to the website. It's evolve.vegas. And yeah, you can find us anywhere that way. You can also give us a call at the studio. That is 702-850-2849. But yeah, you can also reach out to me personally on Facebook, Candace McCuthcheon. I'll take private messages. I'm here to help anyone who wants to be better. I will help.
And can they try the gym?
No. Yes, they can.
So they can do a free class.
We don't do a free class. So what we do is we have a couple of different ways. You can come in and talk to us about your fitness goals, and we'll decide if getting the nutrition help and starting class. So we'll do almost like a consultation. And that doesn't cost anything. You can come in, find out if a challenge in nutrition and fitness is something that you want. If you want to just do kickboxing, maybe you just want to relieve some stress or just add it to your program, we do a $20 drop-in on your first drop-in. That way you can try it, see if it's something that you like, because it's not for everyone, and we want people to be there who enjoy it. So, $20 to drop in, and we get you all figured out from there. We have all kinds of packages. We have, if you want to just pop in every once in a while, if you want to come as many times as you want in a year, if you want 6 months, we have a bunch of different programs.
And do you do one-on-one?
We do.
Okay.
So the coaches, actually, you can pick what coach you want to do. We do a 45-minute one-on-one session. We actually have a coach there who does a lot of not cage fighting.
MMA.
I got sidetracked for a minute.
MMA.
He does a lot of MMA. So he likes, for people who are looking for like self-defense, he does a lot of stuff like that. Jeremy's great with the equipment. We have things like battle ropes, weights, things like that, that we don't necessarily incorporate into the kickboxing class. But if you wanted to do that on the side, he's great with motivation. I'm really big on form and technique. So I like to do that type of stuff. But yes, you can definitely do a private session if you just want to, get that one-on-one time.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you all for your time.
Yeah.
This conversation was
Thank you
great.
for having us.
I think it will inspire people. So people, if you want to get inspired and you want to, release some of that stress, check out Evolve. Until next time, like, share, subscribe to my channel, and have a wonderful week. I'm out, Fit Fam.